I'm live. Hello, YouTube. Let's sit back and relax. I hope everybody enjoys their day today. It's 5 p.m. It's probably the end of a lot of people's day, but I hope that everybody has enjoyed their day thus far and will continue to enjoy their evening and afternoon. I Before I started this live stream, as I was like preparing to familiarize myself with all of the technology and everything. It's not a lot, but I'm I set this up. My iPhone is the webcam streaming through my laptop. So the camera's right here, my laptop's right there. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. As I was thinking about it, I was reminded of a show that I loved watching as a preteen teen, iCarly. And if you're around my age or like maybe even older or younger, you probably watched it too. And I just thought about the advancement in technology. I remember when, and this has something to do with what I'm going to talk about later on. I just decided to open up with this. But I remember whenever they were going to go live, Freddie would have to count like 5, 4, 3, 2. And they would be like, getting ready, like they'll be scrambling because it was like they couldn't control when they went live. It was like the time that they went live was the time that they went live. So if you're not ready by the time Freddie counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I was just thinking that wasn't that long ago. It doesn't feel that long ago to me, but it is kind of long ago. But yeah, I was just thinking about the advancement in technology and kind of segues into a later topic of the live. Well, I am going live number one because I kind of projected that by the time today came, I would reach 1,000 subscribers, and my projection was correct. I projected that because at the rate that the channel was growing, I was like, oh, it's like 10 subscribers per week. So within the past week, that has been, it's actually been 13 subscribers this past week. But thank you for 1,000 subscribers. That's very exciting. And so what I'm going to talk about in this live is, well, first I announced like that I was doing a giveaway on my Instagram for my YouTube channel. And I announced that, I think it was on Monday. And I have one winner of the giveaway because I had one person enter the giveaway. And I will announce the winner later on. You can probably see who the winner is if you go to the Instagram page. But I decided to talk about more things because I wanted to give people a chance to come on. And another reason why I went live is just because I want to talk to all of the people in this community, like live, and answer some questions. If there are any questions that come up or any comments or anything throughout the duration of this live, it's probably going to be, I want it to be at least 30 minutes. I don't want to be rambling the whole time. I do have a couple of points that I wanted to touch on, but I also hope that if you all have anything you want to say or questions, that I can answer them. So it was the giveaway, the announcing 1,000, and I was thankful for that. And then also, I wanted to talk a little bit about my business, and that segues into the topic or another topic of the live today as well. I'm looking to see if the chat is enabled, and I think it is. If the chat is disabled, let me know. But what this channel was originally about was like really about me as a person. It was about what I want other people to get out of what I had experienced a little over a year ago now, which is crazy to say. It was about what I had experienced a little bit over a year ago and what I knew other people needed to hear that I didn't really see a lot being talked about. And I know that there's a large part of just people in general who need people to listen to them more than people to talk to them. Like, have you ever had a friend? Have you ever had a friend that you always kind of go to them and maybe when you need a shoulder to cry on, and instead of like being the friend to listen, they're always the one to talk more than they listen. And it's like, okay, if you just listen just a little bit more than how much you talk, this conversation would be effective. And somehow through my channel, I wanted to channel that, be more of like a listener than a talker, and teach other people how to be more of a listener than a talker. Like, I have a whole video on like how to increase your value through communication, but that's definitely something that I wanted to accomplish. And I think I will be going live maybe at least once a month, because I want to create this opportunity to actually be a listener through live. Because on a video that I film and edit, I can't really listen to anybody. So I have my planner right here, and I'm a very organized person. I write down like every little thing that I'm going to do throughout my day. And it's funny because my last video that I made, I talked about how I manifested my job or my self-employment, as well as just the goal that I had to be a meditation teacher, which I'll also get to in this live. So when I was talking about that, I talked about writing down goals and how important it was, I found out, to actually write down things that you want to get done. There was something else I wanted to say about that too, but I guess it escaped me. But when I first got this planner, right, it was in January of this year, 2021. And by the year 2021, my goals were a lot different than they were in the middle of 2020. Because I think also it's important to check back in with your old goals. And if you have any change of mindset, to just like listen to it and stay true to it. And that's kind of what I did. So when I first started my channel, I wrote down that in a year I wanted 3,000 subscribers, and that obviously didn't happen. So in the beginning, when I wrote that down, that was like when I first started my channel in like June. And when I wrote this down, what I'm about to show you, it was in, like I said, January 2021 when I got this planner. It couldn't have been any earlier than January 2021 because this is a 2021 planner. But in the beginning of my planner, I have two things written down actually that I'm going to expound on. The first, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says finalize holistic flow trademark. I'm about to talk about that in a minute. The second one says have 1,000 YouTube subscribers. This says yearly goals. Both of these were yearly goals, and the 1,000 subscribers happened in less than a year. And just speaking to the fact that writing things down really puts what you want in your mental and your imagination out into the physical. I think writing down, think of it as like a segue or a portal or a tunnel. So think of your mind as the thing that's on one side of the tunnel, and then the active action that you want to come out of it on the other side of the tunnel. And then writing it down is actually the tunnel, it's the journey. So your mind is on one side of the tunnel, and then you write it down. So when you write it down, it's like you're going through the tunnel. And then when it actually becomes a thing, that's when you know you've gotten through the tunnel. I hope that made sense. Okay, the other thing is that I wrote down that I wanted a holistic flow trademark. And the way that it was spelled was holistic flow with a W instead of a O. And if you've been a subscriber for a while, you know that my YouTube name used to be holistic flow with a W, and I changed it to a O, holistic flow with the O, and that's for a reason. When I first started my channel, I tried to get a trademark on holistic flow with a W, and I'm about to give you all a inside scoop on kind of like a setback that I had, because I think it's important to not only look at somebody's highlight reel, but also look at the things that were like those dips in the progression. It's not a linear progression, but it's more so like of a roller coaster. So my first YouTube name was Holistic Flow with a W, and I spent a good amount of money trying to trademark that name because I wanted to make like a whole entire business out of it, expanding out of YouTube. And the reason I couldn't get a trademark on it was because holistic flow, if you look it up, you'll see a lot of things associated with yoga with it. And there's a lot of legal issues wrong with it because the name is too similar to something associated with the different positions of yoga and how you like move through the positions to create a holistic experience. So in this process of developing a YouTube channel and gaining subscribers and all of that and gaining a community, I lost a little bit of money doing that. And it would have been a lot easier if I got a attorney earlier on, but I didn't. So that could have saved me a lot of stuff. But let's see, let's go back to what else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, I wanted to answer the one question that was on my Instagram post, and hopefully some more questions come up about my business and how I can better be able to serve people through the business. If you don't know, my business is Mindful Rain Meditation, and I have a website for it. You can actually find the website in my About page here on YouTube. It's called Mindful Rain Meditation, and I recently got certified as a meditation instructor and started the business. So I teach classes. I offer all online classes. They're through Zoom. And I offer group classes with a maximum of 15 people. And I'll also offer private classes if you ever want a more individualized experience with meditation. And what it does, the private classes, is you take an assessment that assesses your mind type, the affinity for you to learn a certain type of meditation. And depending on your score on the mind type quiz, we develop a certain type of meditation that best suits you, or that can best suit you as a person. So I'll go ahead and answer the one question that I got on my Instagram post from Indigo. She's actually a family friend. So her question is, when do you think you will offer in-person classes with your new business? That's a great question. The reason I don't offer in-person classes is because I'm going to be moving location soon, or I plan to. And I don't want to start my business in person in the current location where I am in Maryland, and then have to move the location to another state. And yeah, that would be pretty difficult for me to navigate. And there's a lot of moving parts with starting a business and getting all the background information ready. So the answer is, I don't know when I will be doing it in person. That's the answer. Hopefully within this next year. However, if you've ever taken classes like online, the online learning platform is booming. Like, it's doing really, really well. So I actually think there's a lot of benefits to learning things online as opposed to in person, through electronic communication. So yeah. So have no questions right now. And honestly, that's all I have to say. Like, all of the things that I talked about so far is all that I have to say on this live stream. But I will be doing more live streams soon. Like I said, I plan to do them every month as the channel grows more and more. I want to have more of a community of just like people who reach out to each other, network with each other, because there's probably a lot of people who have businesses and who are trying to network and grow their business. And like, for example, if you have a business where you, I don't know, you cater food, soul food, and then somebody else has a business where they do massages. Joe's barbecue and foot massage. Okay. Yeah, so like the person who does massages, they may really enjoy soul food. And the person who does soul food may really enjoy massages. So they can help each other out. And if you have a business and you want to like shout out your business or anything, that would be perfect to do, like in the comments. So that's also another thing, another reason I wanted to do lives, to give people a chance to say what they do and how they can help somebody else in this community, just as I strive to do. So yeah. Well, if I don't have any questions in the next 5 minutes, then I'll probably get off. Because I don't have anything else to say. This has been a good live stream. And yeah, technology is just advancing. Like, the fact that people can talk to each other through communication and see each other's face. I don't know what this world would be if we went through what we just went through the past year without technology. I have no idea, because think about the fact that a lot of people's mental health was declining a lot throughout this past year. And that's with technology. What it would be like if we did not have just the power of just seeing somebody's face through a screen, even if you are not there with them to embrace them, to hug them, just the power of seeing their face and hearing their voice. It's like, it's a lot more than just being able to write a letter or send like a postcard or whatever mode of talking or communication that we used to use before technology, like before phones were even a thing. So I feel like I'm rambling now, and I really don't want to waste nobody's time. So I'm gonna end it here. I have a new video coming on Monday where I won't be taking as many pauses in my speech, because sometimes people, I feel like people tend to interrupt a lot when somebody takes a lot of pauses in their speech. I know that sometimes it can be eerie for somebody to think about. I have a question. This is a question that came up on live stream. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said it like that, but I have a question. I'm going to answer it. Have thought about collabing or putting different individuals in your videos? Okay, I think he meant, have you thought about collabing or putting different individuals in your videos? I have thought about it. And when I was on my college campus, I asked one of my friends to be in a video. And I did it because he has a podcast as well. And we kind of wanted to go down similar routes with creating videos and content. However, I feel like me as a viewer of other people's channel, when I see somebody that brings in other people into their videos, it's often people that will be in other videos. Like they'll be in repeat videos, and also the people's chemistry has to kind of be right with each other in order for the viewer of that video to want to see that guest again. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Now that I think about it, are you referring to different individuals as in guests who also make similar content as me? Or are you talking about like my friends? Because if so, actually that's a great idea. Like having people who are on the interweb as well, on the YouTube, and they do similar content as yourself. I have thought about that to answer your question. At first I thought you meant like something else, like your friends. And no, I probably wouldn't have like any of my friends on my YouTube channel. And also I feel like when you establish as a creator or as whatever you do in front of the screen, as a person, when you develop a community, I feel like a lot of people just want to see you and your personality or whatever you're doing, whatever you have to bring to your channel. And depending on your niche and the content of your channel, bringing somebody as a guest would not complement it in a way, if that makes sense. But maybe I might need to open my mind up about it as well. I don't know. Oh, maybe I'll do like a video on tattoos, but it's really random. But I have this one tattoo, 1111. A little bit after I started my YouTube channel, actually, or maybe a little bit before, I started seeing the number 1111 a lot. And I remember when my throat's getting a little bit dry. I gotta take a swig. Okay. I remember when I was a lot younger, and it used to be popping on Twitter to say, it's 1111, make a wish. Y'all remember that? Don't act like I don't remember. But I remember, and I was wondering, why do you make a wish at 1111? What's so popular about that number? And I never really, I guess I never really found out why other people did it at that number. But once I started seeing that number all over the place, when I first started my YouTube channel, is when a lot of things in my life started kind of shifting. And so I actually put this in a video as well. When you're starting on a spiritual path or any type of self-growth journey, you might see repetitive numbers. This reminds me of the movie, what's that movie with Steve Carell and God and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman played God. What's that movie? Evan Almighty. Evan Almighty. And he started seeing like 316, and he saw it everywhere on like a license plate on his clock. And that's an example of when you're starting to have a spiritual awakening and you see repetitive numbers and they mean something. To me, 1111, I like Googled the number, and it meant like new beginnings and a new sense of revelation. But I mean, Google can tell you anything. I feel like when you see numbers, a lot of the times you can tell, like your intuition knows when, and I see your question, I'm about to answer it in a little while. But I feel like when you start a spiritual journey, your intuition really knows what that number means. You don't have to Google it. You shouldn't have to. Well, I shouldn't say we shouldn't have to, because I had to. Like I felt like I had to. But I feel like deep down, if we really observe our life in the moment, we know what the number means. So when I started seeing 1111, I was like, that is my number. And I didn't have to get it tattooed on my body, but I wanted to. But I was like, I got to remember this number because it's part of the pivotal point in my life. Okay, now I'm going to answer this other question. What made you decide to start this channel? That's from Joy Waller. Well, let me think back to my first video. I really have to think because there's so many things. And I don't want to get like too personal. I want to tell it without getting too personal, but as far as especially the personality shift that I was going through, first of all, I was realizing that my ego self was like shedding off of me slowly but surely, because I was being humbled a lot. Thank God for humbling, because humbling is so important. It's so important to stay humble. But anyways, your ego is what keeps you from really being humble and really grounding yourself. So when the things started happening, I can't say the P word because I think you'll get like demonetized for it, even though I'm not making money yet, but in the future. The panini that happened in 2020 really started humbling me, because it just made me sit down and listen to my own thoughts, listen to myself. It also made me pay attention to the type of energy that I was around, meaning the type of people that I was hanging around as well. And it wasn't that like I was ever hanging around like bad people or anything, But sometimes when you're trying to hold on to something, it's not that it's necessarily bad for you. It's not that it's necessarily toxic. It doesn't always have to be. But anytime you're trying to hold on to something that doesn't want to hold on to you, it becomes toxic by default. And that is what happened in my life right before the pandemic. Ugh, I said the word. Right before the panini. And all these things started humbling me. So I that up to I kind of had an overall awakening, I'll call it. And I started to meditate without really knowing that I was meditating, because I was just sitting and not judging my thoughts. And I feel like a lot of people sometimes meditate and they don't know they're meditating. We meditate all the time. And I just started meditating without knowing. And that is how I I allowed in God's knowledge inside of my mind. And once that happened, like I said, my ego started shedding off of me. We always have some ego left, but a lot of my ego just shed off of me. That leads me to starting my YouTube channel, because that's kind of the revelation that I wanted to share with people. I actually talked about this when I first started this live. I was kind of rambling, I think. But I was talking about how I wanted to share with people what I had realized. And there's like an umbrella under what I had realized. That's why I was saying there's so much to talk about. I can't really say that there's one thing that made me start my channel, because there's like a whole experience that made me start my channel. And under this experience is like a whole bunch of things. But I would say the one thing is just like God's knowledge and joy. I had joy during the whole year. I mean, during the rest of the year 2020, leading into 2021, I've had the most joy I've ever had in my life. I can confidently say that. And I just wanted to like kind of share that with people, because the amount of joy that I kind of unlocked, I didn't even know was possible. And it's like, I can't keep something like that to myself. So I also wanted to motivate other people to want to share that with other people, even if they didn't have the joy that they see other people having. Well, actually, you never really know how much joy somebody else has. We can't really judge how happy or sad somebody is. But I also wanted to kind of like spread a movement. And I hope that it really turns into a movement. Well, I feel like I'm part of like a bigger movement. I don't know what the movement's called, but I know that like it's there, because I now see other people on YouTube kind of talking about similar things that I talk about. They have different ways of going about it, but they talk about similar things. Let me drink some more water. Your throat can get dry sometimes. Uh-oh, my laptop about to die. Let's plug it in. Okay. Should I wait for some more questions, or should I end the live? Maybe I'll wait for some more questions. In the meantime, maybe I'll talk about another tattoo that I have. It's this one. And it says, "Be still." See? Be still. I got that tattoo when I turned 20. And I got it because of the Bible verse that says, "Be still and know that I am God." And a lot of times Oh, that ties into the whole 2020 thing too, because I feel like 2020 just made people take several seats. Like, I know that it made me take several seats because we live in a consumerist driven, basically consumerist driven society, right? That wants us to just work, and drive. And I don't want to discount the hustle culture because I feed into hustle culture because I like to hustle as in me work it, but because of the society we live in, nonetheless, it makes us want to chase something that sometimes we don't need to chase, and it makes us kind of overexert ourselves and force things. And when Panini Panini 2020, when the Panini 2020 made people take several seats all across the world, it forced people to be still, listen to their own thoughts, meditate, notice what's happening in the media, notice that, oh, we need to do something bigger about like black people getting killed. Even though black people have been getting killed for, I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. I'm I swear. But I just said killed like that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm used to it. But black people have been getting killed for like a long time, and the Panini made people just sit down and watch it because there was nothing else we could do but sit down and watch TV, right? Or scroll on Instagram, or scroll on Twitter, or be on an app on our phone. So it made us take several seats, listen to ourselves, be still. And I feel like it was either kind of like the best thing for you or the worst thing for you. But I came across this YouTube video the other day that I forgot what the title of it was, but it just confirmed what I had wanted to say in so many of my videos, and what I do say in a lot of my videos is that every single thing you go through, whether you perceive it as really bad or really good or useless, like, have you ever gone through something you're like, why am I going through this? First of all, I've gone through this too many times. What the heck? Oh. first first of all, I've been going through this too many times to still be going through it. Why am I going through this? How is it helping me? And oh, I'm gonna stop and read this comment. Lonnie, sorry if I said your name wrong, said, no question, but thank you for your hard work and efforts on here to promote our healing. You're welcome. I love doing what I do, and I won't stop doing it. Like, I'm here to stay, because I've seen how many people have benefited from it, and I kind of want to like make myself smaller and just like make the cause bigger, if that makes sense. Like, I gotta notice when I'm saying like as a word filler, because I notice when a lot of people say like as a word filler, stop saying like. Okay. Because I realized that this healing and working through your emotions, mind, body, spirit, it's never about the person talking about it, really. I love that the people talking about it, including me, have inspired people. But I often like to stress that I am just a human being, just like everybody else is a human being. However, I just happen to be a human being. What do I happen to be a human being doing? Oh, okay. I happen to be a human being that is actively talking about things that were revealed to me. And also, I'm not doing it through my human strength. I'm doing it through God's strength. I want to acknowledge that. And kind of like make myself smaller and make God's knowledge bigger, because that's really where everything comes from. We don't know these things on our own. We don't. Human beings actually know nothing at all. We just have a lot of opinions. But wisdom actually comes from everything divine. Okay. What was I talking about before that? I'm not sure. But maybe what I was talking about wasn't that important to keep talking about. Maybe that's why I forgot it. So I think, okay, something just came to me to say. One way that you'll know that you are in a good place. Okay, everybody's always in a good place. Let me rephrase that. Because I remember what I was talking about before. I'm kind of all over the place now, but you're never in a situation that's bad for you. Or sometimes we're in situations where we're like, what is the purpose of what I'm going through now, right? How's this going to help me? And we think that it's to our detriment, and everything in the world is kind of like against us. However, that's what I was talking about. The YouTube video I came across. I came across this YouTube video. Sorry, my lips getting chapped a little bit. I came across this YouTube video that was saying that everything that happens in your life is a place where you can grow, basically. So never go through anything that you're struggling with. Never go through it thinking that it's defeating you. Because if you think that it's defeating you, then it already has defeated you. Because everything that happens in our life is based off of what we think it is. Wow. That just confirmed what I said earlier about how we don't really know anything. We just have a lot of opinions. So human beings don't, again, know anything. Our opinions dictate our life. And I say we don't know anything because life is perception. Life isn't really fact. I'm gonna say that again. Life is perception. Life isn't really fact. Meaning, if I perceive that it's cold outside, that's my perception. But somebody else could perceive that it's kind of mild outside. It's kind of warm. That's their perception. And if I base is this a good analogy? Let's see where this goes. If I base my life off of the fact that I perceive that it's cold outside, everything else in my life will respond to my perception. And if everybody has a different perception, how can we ever know any facts? If it's perception, then it has to be opinion. But sometimes we get like facts and opinion mixed up. Okay, full circle. Let's come back. The fact that everything in your life, whether it's really, really painful or whether it's like mildly painful, it's always a place where you can grow. And it's always something that's good for you, even if it doesn't feel good. That's basically what he said in the video. And I was like, preach. Preach. That's all I could say, preach. Because, life be real painful sometimes, right? But that's our perception. That's not fact. We perceive it's painful. However, on the real, it's actually what's helping us. And the thing is, we can't perceive how it's we can't often see how it's helping us in the midst of it, because when we're in the midst of it, we're like this. And you can't really see anything if your hand is in front of your face. Okay, think of my hand. I'm using an analogy. You think of your hand as the situation, and then you are you. So if you're like this up on the situation, this is you experiencing it. You can't really see anything outside of that. That's why we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, because when we're in it, we're like immersed in it. And I talked about in another video being the participant versus the observer. Being participating is like this, but when you're observing, you're kind of able to be like this so that you can see everything around it. And I was going somewhere with this. I lost what I was going to say. Okay, let me read this comment. Chantel Smith said, "Thank you for the positive vibrations. You inspired me to start my Loc journey, and I am now 1 week in. Thank you for being yourself and sharing that with us all." Thank you so much. Thank you all for the positive vibrations on my channel. I know there's a lot of there's like a lot of, not a lot, there's like a couple of different audiences on my channel, because I know there's some people, I keep massaging myself because for some reason my neck is bothering me. But there's some people who I know who are like specifically here for Locs, and then there are some people who are here for the mental health and spirituality, things of that nature. And there's people here for both. And I mean, I'm here for all of y'all, but like, I just appreciate how this channel is kind of diverse, and even though we're all a community, has like the little pockets, you know. I like that. I'm rocking with it. Thank you. Magical Feline said, "Hi, I just got here. I was wondering, what's your zodiac sign?" So okay, so like that for real. But my zodiac sign is a Virgo, because I was born in August 31st to be exact. That's my birthday. I will be 22 in August. But I don't know my moon, my sun. I don't know all that. I really don't. It's because whenever I would look at my friends, the people that I hang around, the people that I would hang around and assess my kind of relationship with them and how different dynamics, right? And I'll be like, okay, what sign are you? Because it says that Virgos are like this, Sagittarius are like this. So are you like that? And they'd be like, no. And I'll be like, well, then how does that work? Because I feel like it's really interesting to read about, though, because sometimes they can be really accurate, but other times, and I know there are different charts that you can read and books and things, but I just never really got into it. Because after I saw on the surface that it kind of like didn't really make up much to me, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not really gonna read into it all that much. Magical Feline said, "My guess was a Virgo. You are very detail oriented and organized, etc." I've actually heard that about Virgos, that were detail oriented, organized. I also heard, I read that we can be strict or something like that. I don't know. I forgot what I read, because I read it a long time ago. But yeah, both of those are very true. Detail oriented, organized. I showed y'all my planner earlier. Very, look at that handwriting. Look at it. Okay. Yeah. I was talking about something, but I got kind of off track. This is what happens sometimes when you have a lot of things in your mind, because I'm not sure if anybody else can relate, but do you ever have what you feel like is like two or three people in your mind instead of just one person? You feel like, what if, right? You know how twins in the womb, it was one egg and then it turned into two? Well, what if it used to be two and I turned into one? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Drink your water. Is anyone celebrating Juneteenth? My family and I are celebrating Juneteenth tomorrow, and we're gonna support a Black-owned business, get some food, and have or reflect on some of the history of Juneteenth. And it's my understanding that I think there's a bill being passed to make it a national holiday, which I hope happens. That would be great, because for a long time I feel like, at least in America, well, it would only be in America, right? Okay. Anyways, like for a long time, we didn't even really know what it was. I didn't even know what it was until like a year ago, which is kind of crazy, right? But let me know if anybody is celebrating Juneteenth tomorrow. It will honestly be kind of like my first time formally celebrating it tomorrow. Excuse me, just burped. But yeah, let me know. I think this live stream, okay, it's been 52 minutes, so I'm gonna end it in like 8 minutes, 7.5. However, let me shout out my business again, Mindful Rain Meditation. If you want to sign up for a group class, oh yeah, it just dawned on me that I forgot to formally announce the winner of the giveaway. There was, and it's and her Instagram name is at Indigo Inspires. So Indigo, you won. I'm gonna contact you. I know Indigo because she's a family friend. But yeah, like I said, support Black-owned businesses. Support my business. Tell other people that you know who may be interested in meditation about it. Yeah, let them know. This has been a good live. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna get many like questions on the live, but thank you for everybody who asked questions and gave comments. I appreciate it. There's just such good energy on here. And I'm happy to make room for that to happen, really. Because there's so many other things people could be doing that they choose to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad stuff. But there's people who choose to do good and be in good places. Magical Feline said, do you have an iPhone or you team Android? ... It's an app called Astro Future. I feel you may find interesting to peer into. Our natal charts are like our guide about ourselves to this world. That sounds very interesting. Okay, to answer your question, I have an iPhone. Um, I'm using my iPhone 11 right now as a webcam. and I also have an iPhone 8. I have two phones because that's a long story. But I film on one phone. I film my iPhone 11, and then I airdrop my videos. Okay, nobody asked why I have two phones. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the app. Okay, I don't know if it's he, she, or they. I'm sorry. It's the app called Astro Future. I feel you may find interesting to peer into. Okay, I'll check it out. That sounds cool. I'll check it out. I'm open. Thank you. I definitely feel like it makes sense how if we're born around different times of the Earth's rotation. I don't know. I really don't know much about it, but I just know that it has things to do with the planets like Mars, Venus, Mercury, and how they're rotating and things. It makes sense because when I think of gravity and things of that nature, you know what? I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I don't. But but I'll check it out. Yeah, so let me know if anybody is celebrating Juneteenth. Okay. Leilani said, "Do you plan on having your locks forever? I'm 3 months in." Um, forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I mean, for right now, yeah. I plan to have my locks forever for real because there's so many benefits to having locks rather than like having this natural hair. Since I've had locks, uh I have not missed my hair. I have not missed it. Uh I just got really loud. Maybe I'll make a video on the benefits of having locks if I don't have one already, but I don't have to comb my hair. What? Like I don't have to comb my hair. Um Also, I don't shed hair. I mean, you still shed like a couple hairs here and there. Overall, you don't shed hair. My hair, my hair is just it just does what it wants to do and it just feels really free. So as of right now, yeah, I plan to have locks forever, for real. Um, Congratulations on 3 months. I hope you're enjoying it, and there's definitely some rough patches in there. Like sometimes you look in the mirror, it's like, dag, this is what I look like. But no, sometimes you're like, dag, this is what I look like. Like, you know, that's how I am most of the time. But okay. Magical Feline says, "It's okay, LL, you good. That's cool. You have an iPhone, me too. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. It's the fastest planet. That's why you're always in your head." Oh my gosh. No, but you know what's crazy though? Sometimes they be too accurate. I'm like, yo, you need to stop predicting my future and all that. Cause look, if you want to tell everything about me, no, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about like the apps and things. I'm like, if y'all gonna sit here and tell me more about me than I know about me, I'm not messing, I'm not messing with you. But I feel like that can be accurate. Like Virgos do be in their head. You have a lot of thoughts at once. That's facts. That's facts. Now, in this live stream, y'all have like a whole blooper reel of things that usually happen in the background of my videos that I edit out. That's true. Like you do have a lot of thoughts at once. At least I do. Leilani said, "Hey, haha, yeah, yeah, my little baby locks be shedding. I think they're dry." I can relate. I can relate to having dry locks because sometimes I be like, am I lying to myself or like I have a hangnail? I be like, am I lying to myself or is my hair like too dry that I need to like do something extra? Because I know a lot of people use rose water on their locks. If you watch like a lot of lock videos, you've probably seen other people use rose water too, and they say that it has really good benefits even for the scalp, and it conditions the hair and all that. And I'm like, that seems good, but the price. And I know for myself, if I'm gonna buy anything hair related, it's except for aloe vera gel. That's the only thing I don't buy that's black owned. But if I buy anything that's hair related, then I'm buying it black owned. Like there's no other way. So I know if I buy rose water, I'm buying it black owned. And lately, I've actually been on the hunt for like a black owned rose water, and maybe I'll put that in a future video. I think I found one on Etsy, and it has good reviews, and I think I'm gonna buy it because I'm also kind of minimal, so I don't buy many things. I feel you. I feel you, Leilani. I feel you. Magical Feline said, "Your channel is cool though. Keep reaching out and spreading good vibes." And then they said, "You can always make changes. It's just a guide, but that just means you are determined to live your life the way you want without a lot of interference from others. That's your God divine right." Let me read this again. So I feel like I didn't get the full value out of it the first time. You can always make changes. It's just a guide. But that just means you are determined to live your life the way you want without a lot of. I feel that for real. There's so much that I've learned lately, like the fact that why do we care so much about how others are viewing us? I feel like the ultimate passageway into the best joy of your life is not to. Okay, so there's a difference between forcing this attitude that I don't care, I don't give a about anything because I'm be cussing on here. But you know, I don't be giving up about nothing. Like, and I feel like sometimes it's forced when if you just realize certain things, like for example, do people determine what path you have to choose in life? Like, do other people have a say in how you choose to react to your version of reality? Why does other people's version of reality matter to you? We're all in our separate dreams. Basically, we're all living in a dream. Whether it's a good dream or a bad dream, it's your perception. And the fact that we sometimes, or all the times, like let other people's dream clash in with ours, or we let their dream merge into our dream. And the realization that, dang, Nobody else has a say in what I do for real. Nobody else's opinion should determine how I feel about myself or how I live my life. That's really powerful. That's just the most powerful thing. And one of my main wishes for people is that they stop having to force this attitude of not caring. What am I trying to say? They stop trying to force it and actually start living it as a reality. Because I feel like for a lot of people, it's a front that they put up so that other people don't think that ooh, it's a front that they put up so that other people don't think that they care. Because the only thing they care about is other people thinking that they don't care. You know what I mean? And that's when it gets forced. Why do you care that other people think that you don't care? That shows that you care. So just the fact of not caring and just having it be that. And I know this segues into something else. But for some reason what you said remind me of that. That it's our God divine right to just live life freely and just do our thing and not worry about other people's version of reality. It's the most freeing thing ever. And I don't think anybody will completely not care about how other people view them or how other people want them to live their life or whatever. But I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off live in a little bit because it's running over a little bit more than what I wanted to. Okay, last comment. Leilani said, yeah, I use rose water, but I'm from London and I haven't really found a good quality one. So I feel it actually makes my hair feel worse sometimes. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. That I've never let me know what brand you use. What brand rose water you use? Because I've only actually seen one and it's on Amazon. It's the one like everybody be using, and it's like blue and pink. And you're saying, so the rose water that you do use, because it's like a London brand, and that one makes your hair feel worse. One that makes your hair feel better, or maybe rose water isn't for you, because like, oh my gosh, my mom's down. My mom just came in the house and she's like downstairs on the phone loud. But sometimes what is for everybody isn't for us. So like, even though everybody else uses rose water and it makes their hair luscious, maybe that's not what your hair wants. So okay, should I end it here? I think I'm gonna end it here. Well, this was a good live. Thank you everybody for your comments and your questions and your positivity, for real. Like I really appreciate y'all, for real. Thank you for coming and watching me and contributing to the Holistic Flow community. Oh, Leilani said, yeah, yeah, actually that is some cheap looking London brand. Literally the one they have in all the hair stores. Well, maybe you want to upgrade. Maybe you want to upgrade, or maybe you want to try something new. But yeah, I hope that you find another brand that works well for you. But yeah, should I say my intro that I like to say in all my videos? Well, no, because this is a live. So, but I hope everybody else's day goes really well. What else should I say to end it out? I don't know. I love everybody. I love you all. And I'm just gonna end it. Okay, bye.